Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road, Chip?
Because.
Are you a stand-up comedian now?
I am. Shane fucking Gilly ass over here.
Shane fucking...
Dude, he does a great Donald Trump impression. It is fantastic.
He does. It's very spot on.
So good. I love it.
It's super spot on.
He just did that bit with the other guy dressed up as Joe Biden. And he goes, great tits, beautiful tits, big tits.
I seen that.
Dude, it's so funny.
It's
so funny.
He's very
I'm
good
really
at it.
high right now. Look at me. Just talking normally, I'm way up.
Down there, it doesn't matter.
Oh, is that?
That's that.
Oh, sorry.
And it doesn't matter because it's not recording that.
Oh.
It's recording it from this.
And I'm good over there?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, we're back. Maybe.
Yeah, we are. Hopefully.
Hopefully. It's been fucking long enough. I got my ear cup itches. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. We're back in action.
We had a little doozy there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had to get on your ass about it.
We fought like a married couple, but it's
we did,
okay.
actually.
We fucked it out. We're good.
We fucked it out. That's kind of
I may or may not have sexual relations with that man. Maybe. Just kidding. Possibly.
It's kind of gay.
It's sketch. You know who sketch is?
Yes, I do.
Dude, I want him on this fucker. He's so funny. What's up, brother? He's just kidding. I do want him on the podcast, though.
I do, too. He's kind of weird, though.
But that's the character he plays.
I know.
Have you ever seen the videos of him, like, hanging out at Barstool Sports?
Yeah.
He's, like, normal as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Kylie is a normal dude.
Mm.
Sketch is a different
His name's
dude.
Kylie.
Kylie Cox. C-O-X.
Kylie?
Yes.
It's definitely a girl name.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's guys out there that are named Kylie. Example A is Sketch. But, yes, I know.
I don't know a single person named Kylie.
Sketch.
I don't know a single person named Kylie.
In your life.
You don't either. Besides him, he doesn't count because you don't know
That's
him.
what I'm saying. He's not, like, in your life. Like,
He's
he's
not in
just
your
a
life.
celebrity.
He's not.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know a person named Kylie that's
no,
a dude?
No.
Exactly.
Just
Kinda
him.
weird. Kind of weird. You're weird, bro.
It's all right. He's a fucking legend.
You're weird.
Anyways, we're back in action.
Yeah, we've been saying that for the last, 4 episodes? 4? Maybe. It's been rough.
Yeah. But we're not going to try and do this shit every week.
No.
Like we used to.
We figured out what we want to do and how
the
we
best
want
ways to do it.
Yeah. That
now
and
we just have to do it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
before we were trying to like do podcast
Don't
and
mind
come
me.
up with a fucking topic and go over that topic, and coming up with a topic is always a pain in the ass. And then with me working random ass fucking times, my schedule's not always the same compared to Nate's.
Correct.
And
I work over
trying to get people on. We were too busy worrying about trying to like get people on or like figure out videos to do, when in reality we should have just sat at this fucking table and just talked about random shit and made videos at this table. So with that being said, our plan going forward is to do a monthly episode or maybe every 2 weeks. I mean, the goal is once a month, but if we can get 2 out in a month, I'm sure Nate's not going to be opposed to that.
No, I wouldn't be mad
You know,
about
obviously,
that at all.
if we're trying to get 1 out a month, that's the goal. But if we can get 2 out a month or 3 out in a month, that's even better. If not, and it's once a month, that's what the fuck it is for right now. And we're not going to worry about trying to get people on as much and not do interviews per se, just because I don't think that's really necessary.
No, I don't.
do-
Sorry,
I mean-
I'm trying to diagnose technical questions, but I'm listening. No, we don't really need people on here.
I mean, like, there's a couple
Necessarily.
that we could get on. Like, if Duran wanted to
Absolutely.
come on, absolutely, that's not a problem.
Right.
Or, like, we could redo Zach's, not a problem.
Right. But
like,
I don't want to go out
planning
and,
shit and bringing people in that's not close to us, or like
Yeah,
going out and doing something that's just not in the
right.
realm of things to do right now.
Right. And eventually I'd like to do that at some point,
Right.
but we don't need to do that right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
right
not-
now we
it's not
just
a
need to make
necessity.
content. That's all it really comes down to, is just making content and putting shit out there for people to watch, people to enjoy, people to laugh at, and follow and subscribe to us for more content in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just trying to build our viewership,
Yeah, absolutely.
our followers and subscribers and shit like that. That's
Yeah.
all we're trying to build right now, instead of worrying about, God damn it, the fucking cable, worrying about like filming videos and vlogs and shit like that. I mean, if there's something comes up and we happen to do it, fantastic. Like if we get invited to some type of fucking event and we decide to go to it, sure, but like we're not
Right.
going to go out of our way to
No, it's
do
just
anything right now.
it's too much with our schedules right now. And especially with you still having a newer born, technically.
She'll be 8 months coming up, which is fucking insane. I'd seen that, but I was gonna let it go.
Oh, I literally just noticed it.
But yeah, dude, it's crazy to me to think that like 8 months ago, well, coming up on 8 months, the 12th of August, she'll be 8 months. Can't believe it's been 8 months already, dude. It felt like 2 weeks ago we were at the hospital.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember you announcing it.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking insane. It's crazy. I have a pic. My latest post on Instagram. I haven't posted on Instagram since February. Is me standing right here with her, and she's like this big.
I'll pop a shot in the middle here.
Yeah, somewhere
Right near.
next to you or next to me, whoever camera you're on. But yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. Like, she was like this big, and now she's a fucking tank. She's crawling around, wanting to fucking try to take a couple steps, fucking smacking people.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking insane.
It's wild you have a child. Who would have thought?
It's a blessing, though. It really is.
Is it?
It really is. Like, it's, dude, it's like, like looking back like 3 years ago, or even like longer than that, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I was in school.
Sure.
Me and Amanda were just dating, like fresh out of high school. Me and you were just a bunch of fucking douchebags.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never thought I would have had a kid, but it really is a blessing because it like opens up a whole nother side of a person that like it opened up a whole different side of me that I never thought was in me, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But like just seeing me becoming a dad, Amanda becoming a mom, like my parents with her, like it's just changed so much shit for the better, really. It's a good feeling. You'll get there one day. It's okay.
Thanks.
One day.
Oops. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. You'll get there.
Eventually.
Yeah. I mean, that's not like some people are ready to have kids at 21 years old.
I mean,
Some people don't want to have kids till they're 30, 35.
Right.
Which is fine. Obviously, the later and older you get, the harder it becomes.
Yeah.
Like, I think my dad was...
Your dad was like 70 when he had you.
No.
You're like Theo Vaughn.
Yeah. No, my
70-year-old dad
was-
when you're born.
My dad was older. Obviously, he's not old, but he was older when they had
Right.
me. But my parents tried to have a kid for 15 years.
Yeah.
And it never happened. And then one day my mom got pregnant, and here I am. You know what I mean? So, like,
little shit stain.
I think fucking right. I think my dad was maybe in his early 40s.
I mean, all you have to do is take his age currently and subtract your age from it, and then you'll know.
Yeah, but I don't feel like doing all that math right now.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, obviously he wasn't in his 20s, that's for sure.
Dude was definitely not in his 20s.
No. But like I said, some people are ready to have kids at
How old's your dad now?
My dad is 71.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think my mom's 66. So, yeah, 40s, early mid.
Your dad was like 45?
43, 45, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 71 minus what, 26?
6, yeah.
What, 40?
Well, that'd be 51 minus 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, 45. My mom was probably like 38. I think there's like a 6
that's wild.
gap between them. But yeah, you know what I mean? So like your time will come.
I definitely don't want to be that old when I have kids.
No.
The only reason why I don't have or want them particularly now is because I have a lot of stuff to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
I got a truck to build. I want to buy a shop, and I'd rather do that now and fix that shit or build it, whatever.
Right.
Than have to want to do that and take care of a kid at the same time. Plus,
Right.
I work overnight.
Yeah.
And I would literally never, like, I for one, I wouldn't get sleep. I'd get less sleep than I already do now.
Well, I will say, like, me having a newborn, like, everybody's like, oh, my God, you're going to get no sleep. She's going to cry all night long, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, they're talking from experience because every kid is different. Every newborn is different.
Absolutely.
And me and Amanda are fucking blessed. We come home from the hospital, and she wasn't even a month old. Obviously, she's sleeping in her fucking bassinet next to our bed.
No.
And we would feed her at night, I'd say maybe 10-ish, 11 o'clock at night. And everybody's like, oh, every 2 hours they're going to be up wanting food. The doctor told us when we left, every couple hours. Then we went to her appointment, and they said, she'll let you know when she's hungry. You know what I mean? You don't want to overfeed a baby.
Right, of course.
You know what I mean? You don't want to fucking shove food down their fucking gullet.
Right.
But they'll let you know when they're hungry. They'll cry, and they're hungry. That's what I mean. Babies either cry when they're hungry.
Or they shit their pants.
Or they want their diaper changed. Or they want a toy that they can't get to. You know what I mean? Before she started crawling, she'd sit there and look at something that she wanted and cry. We'd move shit closer to her, and she'd be content. So we come home. We went to her doctor's appointment. Doctor said, listen, she'll cry when she's hungry. You don't have to. If she's sleeping, let her sleep.
Yeah.
Don't wake her up.
Right.
So we'd feed her about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. We'd go to bed. We'd wake up maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. She'd wake up crying. I'd go downstairs, make a bottle, bring it back up. Amanda would feed her. And she'd sleep till 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. So we never had to get up at midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yeah.
We weren't up all night. We weren't like that. We
Right.
were blessed to where she slept through the night. And ever since we really put her in her crib, even before that, when she was in her bassinet, everybody's like, oh, they're 3, 4 months old, sleeping in their crib. They wake up every couple hours crying. Every 3, 4 hours, they might want a bottle in the middle of the night. They might just not be. Dude, we'll put Lainey down. Ever since she was, like I said, 3 months old, we'll put her down for bed. 9:30, 10 o'clock at night is like
Yeah.
her normal time unless
Sure.
we're out doing something or, whatever.
No.
She'll fucking sleep till 8 o'clock in the morning. She sleeps all night now, and she slept
Yeah.
all night for the last 6 months,
Right.
5 months. And that's a huge blessing because we're always like,
Sure.
we'll put her down at night, especially like if I work 2 to 10s, that's not a big deal if I wake up because I could always sleep in. Same with Amanda. Lainey could sleep in. But like nights that I work 6 to 2 and we go to bed 9:30, 10 o'clock, we put her to bed. We all go to bed, and I get up to go to work. She sleeps all night. Amanda sleeps all night. You know what I mean? We get our night's sleep. We're not, and it's been like that for months. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's a huge blessing to us is she's like that.
Yeah.
And but like I said, every baby's different. My mom said I never fucking slept at night. I cried all the fucking time when I was a kid, when I was a
Right.
baby. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Every baby's different.
Right. Yes. I didn't. I think I cried. I don't know. I think it was like couple. It was the first couple nights my mom told me because my brother was bad. He cried all the time.
Yeah.
And when my mom had me, where there's a 9-year gap, she was like, oh, I can't do this again. Like it's, when you do it for 6 months, in a 6-month stretch with your first child, it's kind of rough. And then after like the third night or whatever, she can attest to this. I don't know the exact time, but it was within a week. I just stopped and I was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily worried about that because obviously I work at night, so I wouldn't. When they're going to bed, I'm going to work. Realistically,
Right.
but I wouldn't be able to really do anything throughout the day because I have an hour drive to and each way
Right.
to work.
Right.
So that's if I work 10 hours, that's a 12-hour day right there. I'm
Right.
coming home. I'm gonna eat some food maybe, and I'm going to bed,
Right.
getting up, taking a shower, eating dinner, and going to work.
Right.
Like it's just
Right.
not.
They're
At
up while you're sleeping, and you're up while they're sleeping. at
Exactly.
night.
So I just there wouldn't be any type of like connection per se. Like I wouldn't be able to
Right.
spend as much time. Like I could spend Friday afternoon, like today when I got off work.
Right.
I slept for like an hour and a half or whatever. But like it sucks staying up for 24 hours every Friday or plus 28 hours sometimes. Excuse me. It sucks sometimes. It sucks sometimes. And on Saturdays, like, yeah, I could. But then Sundays, I sleep Saturday night into Sunday.
Right.
I wake up for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 hours at most, depending on when I wake up. And I have to go back to bed to sleep for a couple hours to get up that night to go back to work. So I have like, if I keep my sleep schedule, but then also keep a regular person's sleep schedule, if I keep a regular person's sleep schedule on top of what I have like a day and a half off,
Yeah.
if that. And it
Right.
sucks. And I don't
Yeah.
want to have to raise a kid in that kind of circumstance or environment per se,
Right.
because it's not fair to that kid. Because I want to be there for it. I want to be able to go to their games or whatever, maybe see
Right.
them walk, their first words, crawl, even like.
Well, like, dude, I was
shit
so
like
mad
that,
because Amanda's home. She works from home, so she's able to see her all the time.
There's gonna be so many good fucking zoom ins
Yeah.
on this clip.
So, like, real quick, can you swap cameras 1 and 2 on the screen or no?
Like move.
So, like, I can't see myself.
No,
I don't-
it's all done
Okay.
through that. It's
That's fine.
HDMI. We have to relabel everything.
Oh, yeah, never mind. It's okay. I just didn't know
Or
if
we
you
gotta
could
move the
those
TV.
pictures.
No.
I just wanted to see myself better, and I can't because that camera. But it's okay. As long as I'm in frame and you can see me, that's all that matters.
You're definitely in frame.
Okay, then that's fine.
Here, I guess it doesn't matter if you want to verify yourself. 'Cause it doesn't matter because this is all post. See, like you're in frame.
Cool.
It's all done in post. They'll never know I just did that.
Okay.
Other than me just saying it because I'm not cutting this out.
Any of it?
Not that.
Okay.
It's a podcast, bro.
Okay.
We should hire a producer. No, that's too much money.
Yeah, I don't have money for that.
No, I don't either.
I got a kid to pay for.
I got truck parts and a shop to pay for that I don't own.
Yeah, and we gotta save money that we can to upgrade these bad boys.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that, bro. Oh, go. What were you gonna say? You were saying that Amanda works from home.
Oh yes, she works from home, and then we'll get into that because
Yeah.
I want to say
Yeah,
something
yeah.
too. We get it like she works from home, so she sees her all through the day while she's working,
Mm-hmm.
and in the evenings, and at night, all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, if obviously Lainey just started crawling, and I was blessed enough because I was always worried with my work being so out of wank, wank, and I could get called out to work at any point in time if something happened and I
Right.
needed to work, whatever. So I was always worried that I was going to miss when she rolled over for the first time, when she started crawling, her first word, when she takes her first steps by herself, like stuff like that's like milestones that you as a parent want to see.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I was worried that I was going to miss them, and luckily everything's fucking pretty much lined up right now. We've seen her roll over for the first time, sitting up by herself. She crawled when we were on vacation back with the in-laws, so
Yeah.
we were able to see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't miss that. I wasn't at work, and she started just fucking scooting around.
Right.
First word's kind of like one of those things where you really can't stop them.
No, because
They're just gonna start making noises, and it just comes out.
Exactly.
Crawling, Amanda's like, if she sees like she's ready to start to go, Amanda could kind of like maybe stop her until I get home, and then we both can see it or whatever.
At least get a video of it or something.
Right?
Like,
Yeah. I mean, we got a
just to
video of it
see
regardless because Amanda put it on
Yeah.
Facebook. But like, other than that, like, I was at least there and being able to see it in
Right.
person. But like watching that kind of and like seeing like a human that you created is like a whole different.
Oh, absolutely.
A good
Sure.
mind fuck, you know what I mean? It's not like a bad, like, holy fucking shit. Like, it's like, damn, like, I really did that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's a different experience, but it's
Right.
fucking sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do that, to go to that portion of my life. I want to have, I mean.
Oh, boy.
EA Sports. God damn.
Dark pop makes me burp like a motherfucker.
I got enough of it out there. If you want to keep doing that, that makes good content.
I might throw it up, though.
That's fine. That's fine.
Almost come out my sniffer holes.
Anyways, what was I saying? Oh,
yeah, you'll get there.
I'm excited to get to that point in my life. I want to get there at some point. And, I mean, it seems like everyone that I know that I've friends with minus, like, Country Joe and Ross have had kids at some point.
Right.
Like Zach, I mean, he's had a kid since technically high school,
Yeah.
realistically. But, like, I want to get to that point, and I'm excited for it, but and there's never a right time to have a kid. There's no, and regardless of what you say, even I think I'm like, I'm not ready for a kid.
The only other time that you could physically say that now's the right time is if, like, you were born into a rich motherfucking family.
Exactly.
And you're a multimillionaire. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
You can have a fucking kid at any point because you have millions of fucking dollars,
Right.
and that shit don't matter.
Right. Like, I always tell my parents, because my parents are like, oh, well, we're getting a grandkid. You know, like, they're getting to that point, and I get it. But I'm like, I can't afford it. And they're like, if you wait till you can afford it, you're never going to have one. And they're right, because
you can never is the right time to afford it. Even, like I said, unless you're fucking stupid rich, then yeah, you can say physically,
Sure.
yeah, I can afford this. It doesn't matter
you're never
if you make $30,000 a year or $130,000 a year or $80,000 a year. You will never.
You'll never be able to afford a kid.
Yeah,
technically.
Basically what you have to do.
You're never be ready to afford. You can't wait till I.
All you
can't
have
wait,
to do
you
is
know.
just change your life.
Yeah.
And as weird as that sounds, and as fucked up as that sounds, it's really not that bad. You know what I mean? Me and Amanda, have we made sacrifices? Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But, like, you have to do what you have to do.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like you said, you're never completely 100% financially and mentally ready
Never.
for it.
It just happens.
It just, yeah. I mean, if you're like, all right, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And you try and you have a kid, congratulations. You have a kid. You have to change your life.
Right.
But it's for the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're not doing
absolutely.
it just for shits and giggles. Like,
Right.
obviously, when me and him, obviously, is not as bad now. But, like, when we go out to dinner, instead of maybe getting an appetizer or a dessert or a couple beers, we drink fucking water because we have to pay for her meal at some point. But that's the small things.
Yeah.
At some point you're gonna have to, if you want to buy her first car, buy them their first car, buy them a cell phone, start paying for a cell phone.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the long term.
Right. College.
Yeah.
If they want to go to college.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean?
that's-
Shit like that. And if they go to college and they focus on their studies and they don't want to have a job so they can focus on their studies, but they still need money, you have to fund them while they're still in college. You know what I
Right.
mean? My parents did that for the first 8 months, 10 months while I went to school.
Yeah.
I put them on my bank account. They would just go deposit money.
Right.
So I could buy groceries, buy gas for the car.
Yeah.
Eat. Shit like that.
Mhm.
Oh, fuck. And then I went out and I got a job.
Right.
But, that's just part of life.
Yeah. And I'm just not ready for that
That's fine.
right now
That's fine.
because I have higher priorities.
Just don't
but
wait
I-
too long.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Are you 20? You'll be
I'm
26.
turning 26 in a just over a month.
I give it 2 years and you're having a kid.
So that's.
I'm not saying 2 years there's going to be one on the ground.
No.
But within 2 years, someone's impregnated by your wiener.
someone, hopefully it's my
Well, yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, she's getting to that point too.
Yeah.
Because her and I have talked about it on a serious note. Like, she doesn't want to wait forever. I obviously don't want to wait forever
Right.
because, for as much beers and cigarettes I consume, or Lord knows how long I'm going to live,
Yeah.
so might as well set an
As you
offspring.
crack a beer.
Yeah, spawn an offspring to hopefully
Yeah.
carry my last
her
name.
going.
Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, that,
Or
dude, that's like when me and Amanda, we don't want to have 2 under 2, and we don't want to have 2 in diapers. So whenever we go to have another one, I gotta have a boy because it's up to me to keep the family name going.
well, a good thing that you can't control that.
I know.
No one can.
No. Well, technically you can, and there's a way because I'll tell you why. Real
Abortion?
quick. No.
Oh.
And then we can get on to a different topic. So if you do IVF, you know what IVF is?
Involuntary vehicle fornication.
Fluctuation. No.
No.
So basically what it is, make a long story short, if a woman is unable to get pregnant naturally, right? Like you try, me and Amanda tried forever. Luckily, it happened naturally. You go to a center. They have the IVF centers all across the country. And make a long story short, you would fucking boost a creamer in a cup.
Sure.
They go inside of a woman, take her eggs out, and
you-
put them together.
Yeah.
And then they basically let them grow and create an embryo. And then they can run tests to figure out if it's a boy or a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
So-
like people do that. Like, say you wanted a boy, and say you wanted 4 kids, and you had 3 girls right off the ripper, and you wanted a fucking boy, you could do the IVF route and get your boy. That's the only way, really, that I know of to physically know I'm having a boy or I'm having a girl.
Besides abortion.
Doing it naturally,
Such a piece of shit.
you'll never know.
I mean, you will once you get your test results
Well,
back.
right,
and
but I'm saying you
fucking-
can't choose. Yeah, you can't choose.
No,
oh, I
you're
want to have a boy this time
No.
or a girl. You just get what you
No.
get.
What's the cost of that?
A lot, unless you have good insurance. I
Yeah.
mean, like if you work at Starbucks, their health insurance will cover an IVF thing 100%,
No shit.
which is insane to me because it's not like $100. The
Right.
closest one in here is Buffalo, New York, and me and Amanda were looking at it because we were at that point. We tried for like 2.5, 3. We
Right.
tried so she got pregnant in April of last year. We got married September of 2020. So September of 2023 would have been 3 years. So we were basically like 2.5 years in.
So you were trying right after
Yes,
basically you
yeah.
got married.
Because I said I did not want to have a kid until we were married. Don't know why, I was just in my head.
Okay.
And then we were trying and nothing. We were trying medications and shots and all different types of stuff.
Sure.
And if there's people out there that really want to know more in depth of like the process and shit like that.
well, I won't go into. He'll go into it. I'll just sit here and listen.
No, I'll just bring Amanda on and she can talk about it.
Well, yeah, that's more or less what I.
But because obviously she knows exactly.
Yeah.
We did shots in her legs and pills and
I mean,
tests
I
and
remember.
I
remember being at your house, even like the house over here in Leavittsburg, and you having to go in and give her shots.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes.
Like,
Yep. Yeah, you have to do it every so often, and then you have to test your ovulation and do it when
I remember
your
you
peak
going-
ovulation is. Yeah, I had to do a what's it called? What's like the type
sperm sample.
Yeah, but there's a test for it. But yeah,
You got to jizz in a cup.
Yeah.
Come in a cup.
Yeah. Come and go. Gas station. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, because then they have to make sure, like, maybe it was my fault,
Yeah.
not hers. You know what I mean? And we knew we had to have kids and start early because she already had a low egg count to begin with.
Sure.
So we knew what we were up against with it being harder than some others. You know, there's just so much. People, like, when I was in high school, early high school days, I'm thinking, bro, I could just fucking in a girl and she's pregnant right away.
Yeah, it's.
But there's so much other science and
that's how I still think.
genetics behind it.
I think I've asked Sierra if she's pregnant probably 9 times this week. Oh, I didn't. But I'm just paranoid because we banged like 4 days in a row.
It's all right.
But I didn't.
But out of the 30-some days or in a month, like 3 is when she's ovulating. Girls can only get pregnant while they're ovulating.
That's not true.
That is true.
I don't think that's true.
That's true, 100%.
Don't think that's true.
That's 100% the facts. And that's what Amanda will tell you. That's why when you try to get pregnant,
I don't think that's true.
You have to track your ovulation days because it's so many days post and pre, like, the girl's period or whatever. I don't know. That's what Amanda told me. That's what I went with. That's what the doctors were even saying because you have to track that stuff to be able to know when your best chances of getting pregnant are.
Conception is only. This is just a simple Google search. Yeah, simple Google search.
And nothing's quoted, by the way.
Yeah, I'm quoting what this
right. That's what I'm
highlighted
saying.
thing says.
But like, I might be 100% wrong, and you might be
Right.
wrong. You know,
conception is only possible from about 5 days before ovulation through the day of ovulation.
right? Which, from what I've heard, is only like a couple days out of the month.
And this other one that's below it says you can become pregnant anytime during the menstrual cycle, even when you are not ovulating, which is when you have the greatest chance of conceiving. So
right, I mean, you can get pregnant anytime, but the highest chance and the best chance
of course,
is...
yeah. But I mean, we were doing it like last weekend, bro. Sorry, I keep hitting. I'm sorry, my bad. Like last weekend, and she's ovulating this week. So like it's within that the first quotes time.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
again, just like every kid being different, every woman's different with how their body works.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's just paranoid because then, like, when I get that news, I'm gonna be like,
"What do I do?"
Literally, I'll probably jump off the Empire State Building.
I don't think.
Probably not.
First, you'd have to get there.
I ain't going there.
What would you do? Fucking jump off your new carpet?
I'll jump off my house and fucking
break
jump
a
down
fucking
8
leg.
feet. Jump down 8 feet.
Yeah, break a fucking leg.
Not my even.
The dude from fucking SpongeBob. Q.
I'll post it.
Okay.
It's in there. It's in there.
All right, good. It's right here. It's right there.
It's right there. Yeah, dude, that's wild that you have a kid. I'm glad you guys have a kid. I'm glad she's healthy enough, even though she's coughing right now.
Yeah, she's a little sick. But that's like...
That's kid.
Yeah. But, I mean, obviously, you want to try to avoid certain things because, like...
Absolutely.
I think it's RSV.
Is RSVP. That's
No.
when you
Maybe
return.
it's
That's when you.
RBS.
That's when you return an invitation to a
No,
wedding,
I know that's what
dickhead.
it is. There's no P. There's something that's like
I think it's like RSV or something.
RSV,
Right.
RVS, something. It's like super like deadly.
RESPCT.
RESPCT.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but like it's super like I wouldn't say deadly, but like it's a very aggressive disease
Sure.
that you don't want kids to get,
Right.
especially babies.
Right.
But
anyways, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go to our sponsors real quick.
yeah, shout out to sponsors. We'll say it real quick, and then the commercials will play.
Yeah, they're commercials.
Blah, blah.
While you're saying that, I'm gonna go take a piss. I gotta piss
Of course
real
you are.
bad.
Well, I don't know what that is. That's on your side of the table.
What do you think it is?
Well, tell the people.
I gotta piss.
Oh my God! Shout out Beard Seasonings. Use the code listed down below for 15% off your purchases, as well as RBrand Beard products down below in the description. 50% off your purchases using the codes corresponding to those particular websites. Everything we list down below. Check out their shops. Josh is always coming out with new shit. He Redbeard is blowing up. He's got fucking chips and all different types of stuff. New seasonings that you can buy. You can buy them in little shakers. You can buy multiple packs like this box here. Came in four different seasonings. You can buy them in fucking big ass bags if you're doing a brisket and you want to get a big old bag of barbecue sprinkles. Put it on there. But yeah. Roll the commercials.
Sounds good. So, we were briefing on the SM7B mics.
Yes.
You said you wanted to say something about it.
Yeah, I might buy one, maybe down the road.
Bro.
But I don't know if I want to buy one because I could buy one and just bring it here to use it because you have one.
I do.
Until we get ours.
Yeah.
Or because my problem is I don't sit at my desk like I used to.
You could
You
start.
know what I mean? I could, but I physically don't really have time between working and working around the house and doing shit with the baby, going out, going to my parents, doing shit. Like I just don't sit there like I used to. So like I don't know if it would be a smart investment to go buy
It's always a smart investment.
a $400 mic
Yeah.
and something. So it'd be like $600
Yeah.
to just sit there most of the time.
Yeah, that's what mine does.
Yeah, but you sit at your desk more than I do.
No, I don't.
Bet you do. I haven't sat at my desk since probably that night we talked. And I wasn't even playing a game. That was just on a Discord call.
Right.
I can't even tell you the last time I played a fucking game. It's been absolutely months.
I think.
I mean, obviously I got the new arm, so I'm going to get a new mic. I'm thinking just go with the HyperX Quadcast.
I think you should just save your money and just get a Shure SM7B. Don't, because if you plan on. If you plan on getting a new microphone and then plan on getting an SM7B at some point.
Well, I don't know if I'd ever buy one for
Why?
my house is what I'm saying.
Why? Who cares?
Bro,
they're so nice.
I know they're nice, but I don't really know if it's worth it's obviously it's worth it.
It's worth it.
But I don't know if it's a necessity for me to have. You know what I mean? That'd be like going out and buying
a new microphone isn't a necessity for you to have because your snowball still works.
Yeah, but that's like going out and just buying. Be like, oh, I want to get something for the house.
Yeah.
I need a fucking weed whacker for a little bit of trimming. I'm not gonna go buy a fucking $700 weed whacker. I'm just gonna get something that works, that does the job for me.
I'd go buy a $700 weed whacker.
Yeah, because you're fucking newts.
No, it's because I like stuff that works, that performs well.
Well,
I don't want to have to buy something in a year or two when the shitty one breaks.
I mean, I've had to.
Because then you're gonna be like, "Fuck! I should have just bought the nice $500 one."
Fuck! I've had to snowball for 8 years and it's worked great.
Not the point. The point is that you should buy an SM7B. I'm trying to be the devil on your shoulder. You're being the angel. I'm the devil.
Well, it's not working too well right now.
Well, buy an SM7B. That's all.
We'll see.
Just do it. Don't be a little bitch.
Well, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but we got new boom arms.
Yeah, we did. So me and him talked after we fought like a married couple. It made more sense to get low profile ones.
Well, we've always talked about low
And
profile.
we have, yeah.
Because we got the blue, is it Compass? Is that what
Yeah,
it's
Blue
called?
Compass,
So
yeah.
it's Yeti, Blue Compass. So they go like this, and then they go like this. And they were nice because they were nice, heavy, good weighted. They hold the SM7B well.
And they worked for us, for him
Right.
and I in our in our camera setup. It works fantastic.
For just us.
Yeah, for just
But
two
we
people.
tried to record a video with our buddy Zach, mainly his buddy Zach. And I was sitting in that seat over there next to Nate, and Zach was like
right
here.
there.
He was a little bit more that way, but that really doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And when we would pan over our camera over, like the one that's showing Nate right now
Mhm.
was showing Nate and me. It was
Mhm.
zoomed out a little bit more. It was covering two seats.
Yeah.
Well, where my boom arm was, my whole face and body was completely covered in a microphone. You couldn't even tell who I was. Like it was, you just
No.
seen my fucking shoulders and the sides of me.
Right.
It just didn't work.
And because Zach was tanked, it just didn't work well with his microphone placement. Even not
Yeah,
really.
because he was sitting more like this.
Yeah, 'cause he
and
was-
the
he was
mic
more
like
relaxed and
way up
everything.
here.
Yeah.
So really, his audio was super low too.
It was.
So
And
with
it's
getting
just-
low profile, it stays low and only covers right here where we need to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
you can see in Nate's camera and my camera that they're low, out of the way. You can still see everything else around us. You can see everything else around Nate. All you see is just that little bit. And that's what a lot of guys use that do podcasts is low profile, or if it's like Roman Atwood's podcast, for example, they sit on couches and shit. Or like love seats where it's like two seat. They just have it come off up the side on a mic stand and just come straight over.
Which would be fine too.
Right.
I'd love to get into a scenario like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
which
even though we
can.
technically started out like that and then we went to this, but as it grows, I'd love to be a lot more comfortable and relaxed.
Like if we
with
ever,
the proper equipment.
Like the next time we redo a studio, like if you
Mhm.
got a shop and it was big enough to make a little studio in, or
Mhm.
say my big garage, I insulated it and put heat and air and shit out there, and we did shit out there. I would love to rebrand and do like a garage themed, where like we'd have really good mics, so we don't need as much suppression
Sure.
for foam
Yeah.
and shit like that, and we could have some couches and a table in the middle, and all this stuff would be behind the cameras,
Mhm.
to where all we do is hit play or record on both,
Mhm.
change shit up, and just walk over and sit down.
I mean, hopefully at that point, realistically, we can. I'd like to hire a producer at some point, not anytime soon.
No, fuck no.
That's out of the
That'll be
question,
when we
but,
make enough money to pay
correct.
that person
But
and still work her full
but
time.
eventually, I want to get to that point where we can have someone that does all the, not necessarily, not even the editing. Like, I don't care about the editing portion. It's the main controls, because if they're able to switch live, that would obviously make things so much easier.
Like right now, it's hard to switch live because we're just jambling back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd have
That
to
would
sit
be
here and-
100% perfect for an interview situation, or like if Zach was on, and we're
Yeah.
like, yo, like, why did you start your thing? And we'll tell him, hey, after we answer a question, pause for 3 seconds and then answer it. That gives
Well,
that person
they
time
wouldn't
to
have
switch.
I mean, if it's someone that has experience in it, like I have friends that do that as for for a living right
Yeah.
now. It wouldn't be hard for them to do that because they know what to look for. They know how
Right.
to queue
right.
it up. And
But I'm just saying,
like
in
that.
the end of that, like the editing would be easier because all you got to do
Yeah.
is clip, delete the space, put them together, and you're done. Instead
You
of
wouldn't
like,
have- I mean,
if it was
there's-
fast enough, you wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah,
at all.
exactly. It's basically I'd still be watching the full length of the video, and I would just be fixing their fuck ups.
Right.
Which, as a good producer, especially if you're producing live, like a lot of the people I know that do, you obviously try not to have a lot of fuck ups because
Yeah.
it's you're producing it live, like what we used to do in Duran's class. We're
exactly.
producing it live, so there's very little wiggle room.
But
to
that was
mess
super
up.
easy too. Like when we were doing like the TriCaster
Well,
shit,
that-
because he'd come over. Oh, Matt, you're going live in 3, 2,
Right.
1.
But-
You're live. Don't move the fucking camera.
But at that point, that's kind of where you get to. At some point, it's not just one person doing it. Like you actually have people that are like, hey, like this is what's going on.
Right.
Like,
But
so
that's
on
a
and
hell.
so forth.
Obviously, that switching, like we said, is a hell of a lot harder. Like in the first half of this, when we were just rambling on and we're talking
yeah.
back and forth, back.
Sure.
You don't want a person sitting there trying to watch this and they're having a fucking epileptic
No, I
seizure
get
because the
it, yeah.
screen's flashing back and forth 50 times in
Right.
30 seconds.
No, and I think a lot of that would come out to be the wide view camera that's in the middle here.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the back and forth takes place for the most part, unless one of us is talking for a significant amount of time. Like right
Yeah.
now, it probably would be on me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then when you talk for a significant amount of time, it goes to you. But then
Right.
when we're both just babbling back and forth,
Right. Like earlier, or
then-
like right now.
yeah, like
we
right now,
just-
it'd be on center camera
Exactly.
basically.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
But that's
um,
obviously stuff we can work with
Yeah, exactly.
way down the road.
But I'm super happy with these.
Yeah, dude,
mic
I would
stands.
recommend these to a lot of people. I know a lot of people. We did some reviews on them, and I'm glad I found. Obviously, I knew these existed, but I'm glad we went with this and not your $1,800 option.
Yeah, so eventually we will probably end up going to that if we get big enough, because
Yeah.
for one, they do look a lot better realistically.
Because isn't that basically just 4 of these on a stand that would sit
well,
in the middle?
they sell individual ones. They sell ones that are not identical, obviously, but that are this form factor per se.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually, I think they have like a little drop down thing that I think actually has a spring in it and whatever. Like it's high quality. It's
Yeah.
OC White is the
Yeah.
company or something like that. But they're like with this and then the clamp mount, the clamp mount, it's like $420 or something like that, or $400 and some dollars per
piece, yeah.
per thing. So it's like
And obviously,
1,800
these
some
work
dollars.
perfect for exactly what we want to use them for.
Yeah,
They hold an SM7B,
yeah.
so whenever we decide and whenever we have the money to upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
I would start with 2 and then do 2 more at some point else.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if
And-
we want to get 2 for ourselves and then we'd record podcasts like this
Right.
for ourselves for a year
Mhm.
until we end up having somebody, then we consistently have people on, then we could make the upgrade and get another one.
Yeah, absolutely,
And then another one.
absolutely.
Or 2 and then 2 more down the road.
I just know I'm extremely happy with that purchase.
Of what?
These.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
And we have 2 more off the side.
Yeah, they're
In the
not mounted
boxes
yet
still.
because we don't. For one, we don't need them, and 2, I just ran out of time because this was all. a mess
Did
back
you get them
here.
on sale?
No,
No, I didn't know if you were able to get
I had a
them
gift
on sale.
card because I returned some Rokus because I didn't need them for the whole internet cable situation
Gotcha.
here at the
Gotcha.
place. so I had some money to spare. But I mean, it was still, I think I paid like $300, 300 and some bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they're $100 a piece.
Yeah.
99.
So
99.
I got basically one for free.
Yeah.
One in a
Third,
quarter,
yeah,
one and a
like that.
sixth, realistically.
But no, they're nice because if you want to use my shot here, if nobody's ever seen these and they're looking at mic arms, mind the mic noise, there's a channel here and down here that are covered by this metal.
It's metal.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's metal.
It's not like thin aluminum. Like it doesn't bend real easily. Like this is good steel. Set of magnets. So it's super easy to run your cabling. Some like these don't come off, so you got to like feed the cable up through and push it down and try and fish it out of the hole. But there's a hole up top and a hole underneath on. Is there one up here too?
No, it's
so it's underneath through here, and here on the bottom by the clamp is
not
where.
down here. This is just up.
Yeah, that's what I said here. Down here, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a pass
here
through, yeah.
and here and right here. It's all solid.
Yeah.
But super easy to hide the cables.
Yeah, and I think
super
it looks
easy for cable management.
Yeah, because we found cheaper ones that probably would have worked realistically, but they didn't have the cable channels, and that's something I specifically wanted. I know there's people that just use like the Rode cable ties or whatever, and that would have been cool. But for one, I'd have to buy cable ties on top of that, and I just didn't want to. I wanted something with a cable channel because then if we want to run these headphones up in, which we can still do if we ever wanted to,
drop it out right here.
whatever, drop it out of the bottom or whatever it may be. It's all ran through here. We actually gained a lot of XLR.
Yeah,
length.
that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Because I mean, I pushed it through.
Plus, these are shorter because it's not going all the way up, all the way down, and then across. It's just the whole. It's
right. Yeah, so obviously we
easier.
pulled all the slack back, but I mean, you could see the slack that you can't see, but he can see.
Yeah.
I mean, all that slack that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's probably a good, like if I made this tight. That's probably a good foot of cabling, or 13, 14 inches.
I think it'll be better for when we do the outside mics, cable length-wise, because, we were kind of struggling a little bit with the length. Now it won't be as bad, which is
And another thing we could always do, too,
phenomenal.
Is if we ever wanted to, I'm going to move my mic so they can't hear me as much. Well, actually. Now they can still hear me, and I'll move this out of the way. If we wanted to move this mount to here and then put their mount here instead of that corner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just do 2 here and 2 there. And then we can hide the cabling and stuff. That way it'll be kind of like coming in this way and this way. It'll be a lot more symmetrical. And you're bringing that clamp 1.5 foot closer to the board,
right?
Which the board's back here if you didn't know that. So you're gaining 1.5 foot
from those cables.
Right, yes. That's what I was trying to say, but I was also fucking burping at the same
you were
time.
throwing up in your mouth. Yeah, it makes it's so much better now. The ones we had, the blue compasses, they work great. I have one up for my gaming setup. Good thing I can mute all that. I have one upstairs for my SM7B for my gaming setup, and it works great for what I have because I'm just a single person. Just have it drop down, whatever. Yeah. And it's great. But for something like this, like I said, for us two, it was great. But when you get a third person involved and you have to finagle stuff and camera angles, because obviously that camera angle changes. We had a fourth person. This camera angle that you guys, this one or the Chippy's camera, that angle changes. Yeah. My camera changes. The center one stays the same. For the most part, it zooms out a little bit more, obviously to cover more of this. But regardless, the 2 outside cameras got to physically move out and everything.
Move out, zoom out to cover 2 seats.
Exactly.
Eventually, I would love to get 5 cameras, a center, and then each seat has their own.
Oh, absolutely.
But if that was the case, I feel like our setup would have to go more from square to being more like an obtuse angle. You know what I mean? To where like that person might be more that way.
It's either
so instead of like this coming this way and this way, it'd have to come like this way and more like this way.
It's either
that way. Those, you know what I mean? Because you only have so much space. Right. Even if we, for some reason, we went to the other side of the room again, like we originally started, to where there is no wall and we have that whole space to use, and use like that middle pole as the camera, as the center of the room. You would still need the space for the cameras and stuff.
Yeah, it's either that or you stick with a 3, even 4, which I don't even know what you do the 4th, but stick with a 3 camera, but you do like a Joe Rogan style where it's actually like a square table, and you do like long shots
Yeah.
You know how he was doing it at one point. I don't know if he still does. I
now
listen.
it's
I
like-
listen to his podcast. I don't actually
Now
watch
it's
them,
like
but
he
I
has
listen
his
to
own
them.
camera kind of angled with him and his sign behind him,
Yeah.
and then the other one I think is angled this way to catch like the people sitting on that
Yeah.
side of the table. Because I don't think anybody sits next to him. I feel like everybody sits across from him.
Probably. I think I've noticed that as well. But even then, we can still, even if we still had like 2 over here, 2 over here, you can still get away with 3. But it would have to be a longer table because you're doing a longer shot.
Yeah.
Down. Does that make sense? Like it'd be
Mhm.
a similar setup camera wise. Obviously, you have to move a little bit, but the tables would be. I mean, we'd be sitting more this way.
Yeah.
Than this way, but we're
Yeah.
talking to each other. We're not necessarily talking to the camera
Yeah.
all the time.
I mean, I don't talk to the camera now. I felt like
No, I'm
the
talking
first
to you.
half of this episode,
I
I
literally-
was looking at you most of the
I don't
time
think
just to conversate.
I can tell you, like up until now at this point, I don't know how many times I've looked at that camera.
I looked at the camera when I was doing this stuff,
Mhm.
and when I was telling them about to go to the description, 50% off, whatever. I was looking at the camera's direction because I'm talking to the group, to
Oh, for
the
sure.
viewers.
Yeah.
But like I feel like most podcast episodes,
I just look
the
at you.
cameras are pretty. Even just like other companies and other people that make podcasts, their cameras are there to capture it,
Mhm.
but the people that are recording that ignore them.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to the people
exactly
at the table.
Yeah, I say I don't hardly ever talk to the camera.
Yeah, I don't really like. I look at it. I glance at it here and there.
Yeah, I honestly I mean, I'm sure if you go back and rewind, I'm sure I've glanced at the camera or the TV plenty of times.
I glance at the TV a lot, but it's nice because my camera's right there.
Right, so you can just kind of look. It makes it look like you're looking.
So
at
if
the
I
camera.
just glance at the TV real quick, or if I glance down at the time, like how long we were recording or something like that,
Yeah.
it kind of, you can tell that I'm looking in that
Right.
camera's vicinity.
Right, it's pretty wild. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's another, speaking of guest, I know this was off the topic. We did an episode with Josh,
yeah.
but it was the same way with the old mic stands.
Mhm.
It wasn't even the blues, it was the tabletop ones.
And the old mixer,
Yeah, the old mixer.
which you can't see, but it's just right down there.
Yeah.
Oh, you can kind of see it
The
in the center
corner.
camera. You can see
Yep.
it down there.
So it was
ain't-
the
ain't
old
hooked up.
mixer. We didn't have the camera switcher. We were
No.
just shooting one camera at the
No.
time. Same mics, obviously. Different boom arms. We're going to get him back on at some point.
Mhm.
This table I love for the two of us, but I hate it for guests.
Yeah.
Because I wish they were more, like I said, I
Angled
wish it
out.
was more open instead of such a square.
Right.
If we were doing square, I wish we would just do square.
Also, definitely not meant for what we're using it for.
No, this is meant for a bar.
But the lights look cool.
Yeah.
That was such a good idea.
You know what I just thought about too is like
What?
if we ever did a 3-person one,
Mhm.
me and you could always go there. We could always, if we really wanted to kill
There ain't-
ourselves.
There ain't much moving that. 'cause
No,
you
I was
gotta
gonna
think all
say if you wanted to, like, rerun all this to where the fridge is on a table, out of the camera view. You know what I mean? Then we start everything up.
you have to get longer XLR. We have to get XLR extensions.
That's fine. We could that's not a problem.
No, it's not.
And then that third person could sit in the middle. Then we have easily 3 different camera views. The middle one covers everybody.
Mhm.
We could always, and if we ever did get like a 4th camera, or like say we went out and got another Sony, used your camera for the big one, a third Sony in the middle could zoom in for a single shot in the middle,
Mhm.
and then 2 outside ones.
Yeah.
We could, and that way it's kind of evenly spaced. Because right now it's kind of like if I sit there and one's here, I want to feel not feel the separation, but I want to feel like when Joe Rogan has people on, he's on the other side of the table. So
Right.
you could tell there's a clear separation on who the guest is.
Oh, for sure.
If we just have a third person sitting here, it's kind of all thrown together.
Right.
So if somebody's watching, they might not know exactly who the guest is because they're all thrown together. So if we separate us, like us out there and them in the middle, there's that clear separation of who the guest is.
Right. Definitely something to consider. Absolutely. I agree with that.
And if we ever did want to switch tables to like a rectangle one, then we could always do a glass top rectangle one.
Yeah. I really like the LEDs.
And then do the same thing, just frost the glass
Mm.
and install LEDs. And it would still light the table up just like this.
No.
You know what I mean?
Man, it looks so good. I'm so
It does.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've been watching that conspiracy. This is random, but I'm watching that conspiracy theory podcast.
Yeah.
Link will be down in the description below. It's really good. You ever watch it or listen to it? I should
I've
say.
heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Dude, it's so good.
What kind of stuff do they talk about?
I mean, yeah.
But like, do they do everything, or is it mainly like a political based one, or is it just like?
No, it's random stuff. Like I've the last couple I've watched have been more, I guess, political because I watched one about MK Ultra. You know what that is?
No.
Google it.
Okay, well.
Mind control stuff via the government. Pretty cool.
So government based stuff.
Yeah. So MK Ultra, 9/11. That was a 5 or 6 part series.
More government based stuff.
Yeah. Oklahoma City bomber.
More government stuff.
Yeah. But it's not all that. Those are just ones I've been interested in.
Let me ask you a quick question, then we're not going to talk about this because we don't like talking about politics.
I'll talk about politics all day. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them.
Donald Trump assassination attempt.
Yeah.
Was that an inside job? Or do you think that was actually not planned? Now, let me tell me what you think, and then I'll give you some small information that I read online. Again, reading all this stuff online, it's not a true credible source, so you don't know if it's true or not.
Take it with a grain of salt.
But
I think I do think it was more or less an inside job. I think this is probably gonna blow up in the comments if this ever goes viral or whatever.
I don't care. We could post this shit on fucking TikTok.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't either.
Because I'm not a political person. I don't give a fuck who's president. I'm still gonna do whatever I want to do. I think it is a similar situation to the Kennedy assassination.
Okay.
In a way, because obviously Kennedy was president at the time.
Yep.
Trump is currently not president, but was at one point running again. I think that. So I guess we're getting to conspiracy theories now. Okay. Great.
We'll make it a quick one.
Oh no, this is going to be an in-depth one, I'm sure. Just like our second episode or whatever it was, conspiracy theories. Go check it out. Link in the description below. Sam Squinch. They knew he was probably going to do good. Kennedy, we're talking about.
Yep.
And they didn't want that. They being the government or whoever. So they had him offed, and that was that. And I think it was the same situation to Trump's assassination attempt.
Yes, I can agree with that. Because they both kind of had like the same wants for the country.
Sure.
They both wanted what's good for the people, not for the government.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's always, dude, the government's so old. There's always been shady shit. There's always going to be shady
absolutely.
shit.
Like,
and I feel like Trump and Kennedy, like you said, will not expose it and bring it all to public knowledge, but like that's stuff that they don't want that person to know.
Yeah, exactly. They
then
know
they
too
could
much.
use it. Exactly.
And do I think it's going to happen again? This is probably going to put me on the FBI watch list now, probably. Do I think it'll happen again, like the attempt or whatever? I don't doubt it if he becomes president. Anyways, it wouldn't surprise me if it happened again. Do I hope it happens? Absolutely not. No one deserves to get an assassination attempt.
No matter how shitty you are as a person or a president.
Like, dude, certain people deserve to be killed, like rapists or child molesters or whatever. Absolutely, but yet they don't. At the same time, we'll go into that in a minute. This is gonna be a long podcast. Jesus Christ. But regardless, I digress. Would I be surprised if that made national news again, where a second attempt was made? I would be like, I called that, like, which is again probably put me on a watch list, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think you're wrong. We're not saying you're going to do it.
No,
that's the big thing.
Yeah, I don't. I hope it doesn't happen, but again,
would it surprise me if it came up again?
No,
and yes at the same time, because like you said, there's so many people out there that dislike him.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And everybody, I'll be real with you. I don't fucking like Biden. I don't care. In my opinion, he fucking sucks. He hasn't done shit. All he's done is raise our price on everything.
I mean, I agree.
He's sent money to overseas that doesn't need to go places. He's fucking opened the border up to fucking thousands of fucking illegals. One of them just fucking killed an innocent 14-year-old girl and raped her. Like, did you not hear about that?
No.
There was 2 illegals, that fucking immigrants that came out of Mexico, and they raped and killed some 14-year-old under a fucking bridge.
Oh.
Like, but that's obviously I'm not going to discuss
we're not going to get into that.
You know,
yet. That'll be next episode.
But like, what good has he fucking done? He sent billions of dollars to Ukraine for what? That war wouldn't have happened, I don't think, with Trump in office, number one, because Putin and Trump are real close. They're buddies. And Trump don't give a fuck. He'll tell you exactly how it is, how he wants to. He's the only president don't quote me on this. I'm almost 100% sure though. I think he's the only president that has gone into North Korea and talked to that dictatorship or that government line because everybody was so afraid of them. He didn't give a fuck. He called him up and said, "I'm coming the fuck over.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this shit." You know what I mean?
I mean,
And I feel like back what you were saying, I wouldn't be surprised if it came up again that somebody tried to do it again.
right.
But I think that there was so many red flags about that happened. Just a couple quick ones. The director of Secret Service that resigned just after it happened. That's kind of sketchy. If that happened on your watch and you were the director, wouldn't you want to find out why he did it? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Dig the fuck out.
Yeah.
Not attack his family, but
No, I
be
mean,
like, yo, why did he do this? Go through his fucking computer, his cell phones, all this shit.
I would.
They pinged his cell phone and a cell phone that was in an FBI building and somewhere in his local town constantly for months.
So.
Or something like that. Like there was a connection between
Sure.
his location and like an FBI headquarters, not like in D.C., but like in Pittsburgh somewhere. Like there was a cell phone that pinged in both places a lot.
It was his cell phone?
It was something that was related to like him somewhere. It wasn't his cell phone.
Okay.
But that's why there's, and then when that lady's asked, why did it happen? Why couldn't you do this? Blah, blah, blah. She had no answers. Oh, I can't answer that right now. Why wouldn't you want to answer it? You know what I mean? That's just kind of like a red flag. If you had nothing to do with something, you would want to prove your innocence. If people are thinking you have something to do with it and you had nothing to do with it, why would you not want to
Sure, yeah.
clear your fucking chest? You know what I mean? Clear you of anything that they're thinking about.
He was killed, right? Like he didn't kill himself. He was killed.
Oh, right in the fucking forehead.
Right. Okay. So if they were watching him for months?
No, they that after
Or
all
they
this
just
shit
happened to
happened, they were
look
doing
and-
investigations, and when something like that happens, they take his cell phones, his computers, they
absolutely,
searched his fucking house top to bottom.
And when they looked,
and when they were
saw the
looking at all this
locations.
kind of
Okay.
stuff, that's when they noticed that correlation between the two.
I didn't know if they were actively watching him. So if they were actively
No.
watching him, that'd be a whole different can of worms.
Yeah, but speaking of actively watching him, there was a Secret Service member who was a sniper that was on a roof. That was, I believe, the roof was like if Trump's stage was right where this box is, right, and Trump's looking that way, he was like back here, like on the back side, like the back corner, kinda.
He was behind him, or in front?
Behind him,
was
the sniper was.
oh,
not the
Trump.
killer.
Okay. Yeah,
Not
yeah,
the
gotcha,
shooter,
gotcha,
but
gotcha.
the Secret
Yep,
Service
yep,
sniper.
Yep.
He was behind,
Yep.
searching, looking in the area.
Sure.
And he's seen the shooter. He's seen him through his scope. He made comments. He come out and made public posts about how he's seen him adjusting his scope and, looking and shit. And they told him, don't fire. They said, do not fire.
Why?
Why, number one, me and Zach were talking about this. Technically, obviously, it's sketchier and shit, but you can't just cap his ass because technically he hasn't done anything yet.
Sure.
Yet. You know what I mean? Yet. Is it very sketchy? Is something going to happen? More than likely. But he hasn't committed anything yet, so you can't just cap his ass. Sure. But there's no excuse to why they shouldn't have said, cancel the fucking thing, get Trump off stage, put him in a secure car, get him off scene, and then cops and Secret Service rush the fuck out of that building to get to that roof.
Yeah.
He said, I see a sniper, blah, 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 I see a shooter. Oh, don't fire, don't fire. He shoots. The kid, Thomas or whatever the hell his name was, shot. This dude was still told, do not fire. He disobeyed orders. One round right between his fucking eyes. I have a picture on my phone. It's very graphic. I'm not going to put
Can you
it
show me? I haven't seen it.
of the dude's fucking face. Obviously, I'm not going to post it on the pod.
We can't show that.
But it looks like one round went through the back of his head and like blew this off.
Good.
And, like it's bubbled.
Sure.
But he disobeyed orders and shot anyways and was fired for it because he disobeyed orders, which is a red flag to me.
That looks like it knocked his teeth out. I wish we could show this.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
No.
But
But I will say, I'll describe it because I guess we're allowed to. For one, his ears look fucking weird. But two, it looks like his teeth got knocked out. They probably didn't. It just probably got small teeth. Fucking
either
weird.
that or because I think one round, because they shot a couple times.
Sure.
I think one of them, because he was looking this way, I think one of them killed him this way, and then he might have like fallen.
Because
it looks like he got hit in the back of the head because one side of his face looks like it's like pushed out.
God damn it. Yeah. Back here, it looks like there's something back here. It would be, on this side. So maybe that did something to his teeth.
I don't know.
And also his left eye is down.
Yeah.
Like the socket.
Yeah.
The socket is.
Well,
pushed.
the first shot I think hit him somewhere in the head, which could break his skull.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we can't show that, unfortunately. I'm sure it's probably on Reddit or whatever. I probably could have looked it up. I didn't. Luckily, you have it. Thank God.
Yeah.
But
another thing that was weird to me was the Secret Service director. She made a statement talking about why they had observed that building and the roof had too much of a pitch. Okay. Supposedly. Well, no, this is what she stated. There's that I guess she said something like this. That roof that the shooter was on, the assassin, had too much of a pitch. It was not safe for her Secret Service members. Okay. But the building that was behind Trump had a higher pitch than that one did.
And there was a sniper back there.
And there was 2 set up on that roof watching.
Yeah.
Why?
And
why? If you're gonna say that roof was unsafe and had too much pitch, but you're gonna put your 2 of your guys on a higher building with a bigger pitch, what makes that safer than a building that's lower to the ground and shallower pitch?
And on top of that,
you don't have an answer for that. Oh, I can't answer that question right now.
Yeah.
That's the red flags I'm talking about. It all looks too sketchy. I'm not saying it is an inside job. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying anything.
We obviously don't. We're not conspiracy theorists.
It's just like the fucking 9/11 thing. It's you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's all.
ideas.
That's why they're called conspiracy theories.
I'm open-minded. With you saying that, and I have heard that. I've just seen on Facebook posts and whatever. With the roof being too steep, the angle, that's too much of a pitch, and it being unsafe for the Secret Service members.
Yeah,
those guys are there
to protect.
Those guys are there to put their lives at risk on the line for the president or former president, whoever.
Well, once you're a president, you're always considered president.
You're a former president.
Yeah, like if we met Trump, we would address him as President
former
Trump.
President.
Just President Trump.
Former president.
But either way, yes, you're still protected.
Former. He's not
the
active.
Same way.
Former.
Well, that's just what they call him.
No, I get it. It's technically former.
But
regardless, not the point.
Regardless, the point is
he has Secret Service with him to
protecting
him
for the rest of his life till he dies.
Yes, and those guys are there to put their lives before his.
Yes, that's why when that shit happened, you've seen all those people rush the fucking stage and are covering him because that's their
job.
Do they have vests and shit on? Absolutely.
But it's their job.
But again, that is their job to protect him.
Yeah, if they
put their body in the line of fire.
If they get whacked in the head, there ain't nothing stopping that besides their skull and hopefully a bad shot.
That's what they signed up for. That's just like the military. You go to the military, you're putting your life on the line for your country.
So for it to be an unsafe thing for the pitch of the roof to be unsafe or whatever, that's bullshit.
Obviously, I know you're not going to put them on a fucking roof that's.
But even then, regardless,
70 degrees.
Regardless, if that's what it takes to protect the president, that's what you do.
Yeah.
They're there to put their lives. If they fall, that's their own fucking fault. For one, they should be properly equipped for the environment they're going to be in.
But the difference was
absolutely.
The one dude who was I forget. I seen a video online. He is an officer or something like that, or ex-military, but now he's like a contractor, and they use special terms for the pitches of roofs, not just like this angle.
Yeah,
they use like I forget what he was saying. It was like a 1+0A pitch or whatever it was.
Yeah,
but
probably carpenter terms. But
whatever it is. I don't know exactly what
they're not using degrees.
Yeah, they're not just let's make this pitch.
They're saying 410 pitch.
Yeah,
whatever that is.
But it was like the degrees. It wasn't like. The one that the dude was on was like, if this is 90, it might have been like a fucking 5-10 degree. The one that the Secret Service was on was like a 20 or 25 degree. Like it was almost double or like a little. It was significantly more pitch on the roof.
Absolutely.
Than what the assassin was on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it was an inside job. Probably. I think all of that stuff. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm open-minded to what they tell me, and I look at the facts.
Right. That's
what people that actually devote their life to conspiracy theories, what they offer. Because sometimes I was, like I said, watching the conspiracy theory podcast. Sometimes the truth is the truth. I forget what they say. Long story short, sometimes the truth is the truth, and sometimes the truth isn't the truth.
Right.
But you can only technically agree or not agree. You can only go with what they say because, I mean, all the rest is conspiracy theories. Until something's proven otherwise, that's
until
what
there's
they've
emails
proven.
or text or video recordings of
That's what they've
people
proven.
talking about this. It's all a conspiracy, and they can only go with what was told.
And whoever has said the CIA, FBI, whatever, Secret Service, whatever they said, technically is the truth, quote unquote.
Right.
Like that's what you have to
Right.
not agree with, but that's what you have to go with in terms
Because that's
of
coming from your
of
government.
a solution.
Right.
Even though there's conspiracy theories, which are a lot of them are phenomenal. Like they make sense. Sometimes they make too much sense.
Right.
Fortunately, you're like questioning like, damn, like that does make way more sense than what they've said. But most of the time what I've noticed is there's one tiny piece missing that would connect that conspiracy theory to be the truth.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Is what it seems like.
And like if you flip this switch around, like I said a little bit ago, I don't like Biden. Right?
Sure.
But if it was the other way around and Biden was the one that was in Trump's position, would I still think the same way? Absolutely, because people think he's too old or his mind's not there. And the House and the Senate are a lot of Democrats, so they're not going to impeach him. They're not going to kick him out of office.
No. They want to get rid of him.
Exactly. So if it was the other way around, I would think the same way. Maybe it's an in-shove job. Maybe they wanted to get rid of him so Kamala could step up, who's younger and might have better. She's still a fucking bitch too. But she might do better than Biden does, blah, 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 blah. Either way you look at it, you can't be like, oh, well, you're saying that shit because you like Trump and you don't like Biden, blah, blah, you like Trump, so you think. I'm not saying it like that, because if you flip the script and it was the other way around, I would think the same exact thing. And that's the truth.
I think
that's the truth about that.
I think if the script was flipped, it would have been a different outcome in terms of the reaction from people. In my opinion,
I believe
like,
so.
it would have been a different reaction. I
Like,
don't know what
it's
the reaction
crazy.
would have been, but I think it would have been different.
Like what's insane to me too is a former president who's now running to be president again was just had an assassin and he was shot in the ear. I mean, luckily he turned his head at the last second, but the news talked about it for like 4 days and it was like kicked under the fucking rug like it was nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
and that's fucking insane to me. Like if I was the people in this fucking country, and another thing that fucking was a red flag too was, I don't remember if it was the director of Secret Service before she quit or if it was Biden or somebody who's like, oh, well, don't go searching the internet trying to figure the shit out yourself. Let the FBI do their job and they'll tell you the truth.
The FBI is known to cover shit up.
Exactly. That sounds like you're trying to cover shit up. You don't want people to look into it. You want people to forget about it because then the FBI is going to say, oh, yeah, this is what happened. Everyone's going to be like, okay, yeah, that's what happened. And then there you go.
Yeah,
it's forgotten about. They think that's the truth. And everybody fucking moves on with their life, and it was an inside job, and nobody's ever gonna fucking know about it.
There's 100% proof that the FBI is known to cover shit up. I mean, like I said, I keep referring to this, but listen to that conspiracy theory podcast.
Is it on Spotify or YouTube or all of it?
I listened to it on Apple Podcasts, but it's definitely on Spotify because they promote Spotify original.
Do they do videos?
I've seen recently. It's not on YouTube, to my knowledge, unless they have a weird YouTube channel that I haven't found. But there's a couple on Apple Podcasts that say video on it. I haven't watched them. But the conspiracy theories they go into when they're talking about like for example, when I was listening to the 9/11 conspiracy theory episodes, long story short, I got into it because I was born on 9/11.
You were?
I was 3 years prior, but not the point. But that case has always interested me. And when they released the paperwork for it, or the files the FBI did, there was a lot of redacted stuff. There's always redacted stuff when the government releases, information or whatever. Always redacted stuff. But with that particular thing, there was 28 consecutive pages. So one after another, after another, after another, 28 pages. All fully redacted. Top to bottom. Side to side. Fully blacked out. Redacted. They got released. And it took them, I don't know, it's over 20 years, I think, from the time it happened. Like, I think it just recently got unredacted, realistically. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I listened to it when I was, like, half asleep this morning driving. But there was a lot of things that got unredacted after, I think it was Trump, once Trump got into office at that point, toward the end, or maybe Biden. Maybe it was Biden when he got in. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But regardless, there was 28 pages of redacted information. Why? There was a conspiracy theory that it was, there's one guy made an assumption. Can't think of his name, so I can't credit him You have to listen to the podcast. That made a connection to the terrorists. There's 15 terrorists from Saudi Arabia. And those 28 redacted pages, basically not blaming or not pinpointing. I forget what exactly it was. Basically, it was there was 15 or whatever Saudi Arabian terrorists.
Yeah.
And in those 28 redacted pages, they were basically blaming Saudi Arabia for it, without saying it was Saudi Arabia under the thing.
Right.
There was basically like this shy of proof, proving that in a way. Because even though there was 15 people or whatever, there was not enough proof. But regardless, I digress with that. Those 28 redacted pages, that's the FBI hiding something, or the government, whatever. Say the government. That's them hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Anything redacted is the government hiding something from the public.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right, because we should know what's going on in this country.
Exactly.
With whatever it is, assassination attempt, terrorist attacks, school shootings, whatever.
Wars.
Yeah, wars, whatever. We, as a public, we should know, because that affects us to a degree, because, like, what if that happens in our town, or what if we're in that situation?
That might happen to somebody, that might fuck with somebody mentally.
Exactly, yeah.
You think of everything. We pay taxes to them, so we're paying their fucking salaries.
Yeah, we should know exactly what's on. We should know every single letter on those pieces of paper, regardless if it's 1,000 pages or 100,000 pages.
Or
doesn't
two.
matter. Or two, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
We should know exactly every single letter that's on that page.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just proves the point that the government is proven to hide stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do with this assassination attempt, with how they're, responding to people's questions and whatever. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly.
It could be the 100% truth. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one knows, I guess, except them probably.
Yeah. Nobody knows other than the people that were behind it, if it was an inside job, or if it wasn't. The only people that know is the shooter, and he's dead.
Exactly. And that's the unfortunate thing that I see. Like,
but even if he was captured, I guarantee you he wouldn't have said shit anyways.
No. I guess something else to talk about after this too, that kind of has regards to people like that. I forget what I was gonna say now.
I don't know, but I got something to say when you're done.
Go ahead and say it.
Back onto the 9/11 thing real quick. I don't know if you've seen it, but I think it was this morning. I was watching it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I was at work and they had the news on.
Mm-hmm.
That the mastermind behind that, there's like 2 or 3 dudes that have been in Guantanamo Bay prison since 9/11, or since they were captured, whenever. Mm-hmm. And they struck a fucking plea deal to plead guilty to 2,009. I think it was 2,972 charges of murder. So just say 3,000 counts of murder. Yeah. Because there's the mastermind behind everything, so that's who that was their plea deal, so they didn't get the death sentence.
Okay.
Kill them motherfuckers. So, they killed 3,000 Americans, and now us U.S. taxpayers have to pay, in the sense, because it's a government place, the government pays them, so we pay the government with taxes. In the long sense, yes, I'm not paying thousands of dollars in my own pocket, but the general sense of the Americans are now paying to feed them and to house them until they die naturally after they set up and killed 3,000 of us in a terrorist attack and took out buildings.
So, actually, I was going to tie into that. Well, I was going to say something about not that particular situation, but when I was watching the podcast about the Oklahoma City bomber back in 1995, they obviously put him to death. He died. He got sentenced to death in 2001 or whatever. But do I agree with the death penalty? Absolutely. I'm so glad that I think Ohio's a death penalty state. I'm so glad we offer that.
I think they do lethal injection. They don't do like the electricity anymore because that became too
too inhumane.
Yes, that's
but
or like the gas chamber thing they used to do. I think it's all lethal injection now.
Yeah. But at the same time,
it's like a series of injections.
I think it depends on the charge.
Yeah.
So someone like 9/11, Oklahoma City bomber,
kill him.
No.
What are you gonna say?
Torture him, which we can't do. I wish we had torture.
That used to be a thing.
I know. I wish we still had it. But the Oklahoma City bomber, said he'd rather be dead than have to live the rest of his life in a cell. That's what made me start thinking, why would you sentence him to death then?
Yeah, you're giving him what he
You're
wants.
giving him what he wants. I would rather have him sit in that fucking jail in solitary confinement,
Right.
cameras on him 24/7, that he needs to be monitored.
No more fucking sunlight.
No. And granted, do taxpayers have to pay for it? Absolutely. So I get it. It's,
Right.
I mean, I don't like paying for people like that.
It's
Fuck
like a
them people.
lose-lose, however you look at
Yeah,
it. You know,
but
nobody's going to
I
be
wouldn't-
happy. But
he already
I get
got
what
what
you mean.
he already got what he wanted, to a degree at least, with what he did.
Yep.
Why give him more? Same thing with 9/11 or whatever. Like if they wanted to get death penalty rather than stay in jail, whatever.
Yeah.
Why give him that?
But they didn't want the death penalty. They wanted to live.
No, but that was
So
just
fucking kill him.
Oh yeah, at that point, then yeah, you kill them. You
Yeah.
give them whatever they don't want.
Yeah.
And
That's
wish
why they
I
took
wish
this
there was more
fucking
of that.
plea deal. But I don't know. It gets like, you commit murder. I know it's obviously life in prison, but they don't just like they give you life in prison, but there's years behind it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So they might say, oh, like you're turning 26. Say they gave you 100 years in prison for murder. You're not going to live that.
No.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
So that's why they just say it with life in prison.
Yeah.
But if that was 100 years, right, for one, they did it 3,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
3,000 times 100 is what? 300? Is it 300,000?
Sure.
That's like 300,000. Is that right? Zach, type that in real quick. Calculator. 3,000 times 100.
Zach's our new producer that's off screen, apparently.
He's just chilling on the couch
He's
right
just
now,
chilling on the couch.
snooze-a-roozing.
He's like, what's going on? You said this was going to be an hour, and it's already been an hour and a half.
3,000 times 100.
300,000.
Yeah. So that's 300,000 years apiece in prison.
Yeah.
My fucking great-great-great-grandchildren ain't going to see 300,000 years.
No.
Yes.
I don't think the world will see 3,000 years. 300,000.
Well, the world is
wo-
millions and millions of years
I don't think
old.
it's going to see 300,000
Well,
more years.
Regardless. You know what I mean? That's a lot of fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it depends on the situation. Rapists, like child rapists, fucking kill them.
Yeah, they're
Brutally kill them.
pieces of garbage.
Yeah,
Firing squad.
Chop their balls. Yeah, dude, firing squad, public hanging. Like it was on one of those podcasts, and they talked about public hanging and how it's
Back
like,
in the day.
yeah, but like how like they don't do it now because it's inhumane or whatever. I
Yeah.
forget what the exact topic was, but I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather see a public hanging of someone like that, or someone that like a domestic terrorist or whatever, like the dude 95, than not. Like I'd rather see that dude
Like
publicly
back in the day,
hanged.
like if you killed somebody like in the Wild West and you cap somebody, or
You get
you're a
fucking
big robber,
hanged,
they'd
or-
fucking hang your
or a
ass.
firing squad.
Yeah.
Or
Like
stoned to death way back
Oh
when.
my God,
That's,
dude.
wow,
they still do that
years.
shit over yonder.
Dude, if I would
Iran
like
and
for
shit
someone
like
like
that.
that, I would love to see that happen
Like
because I don't.
there was a website back in the day, you know it, Best Gore.
Oh yeah, it's a great
It was
website.
great. I
It was
seen a
great
video
website.
on there one time. This was I was in high school, years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. Well, I graduated 8 years ago, but it could have been 10 years ago. I seen it. It was a video from overseas somewhere of some woman over there in one of those like Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Israel, somewhere over there, in like the Middle East. That I don't know if she like cheated on her husband or had a kid with another guy, or it was something that was
Still
like
cheating.
yes, but like against their religion,
Yeah.
or like it was like that was like shunned over there,
Yeah.
like it was like, and they stoned her. They fucking buried her in the ground up to like her like stomach, like
Her
right here.
titties.
It was like below that, like the
Drop
middle
them
of her
titties
stomach.
out, bitch. One more time.
And there's just a bunch of fucking people, like 40 people, just chucking her with fucking rocks, like this,
Yeah,
fucking, like
I've
softball
seen that
sized
shit too.
rocks.
Yeah.
Like and they just fucking chucking rocks at her.
And that shit fucking hurts.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
And she's
I
dead.
wouldn't know, but
yeah. I mean, imagine getting hit with a fucking softball as hard as you can in the side of your head, or your fucking neck, or your nose.
And they used to do that shit all the time.
and
way
your
back
hands
when.
are tied behind your back, so you can't even like try and catch them or
you're,
dodge
you're,
them.
you're doing whatever your upper body can do
Yeah,
in
you're
dirt,
doing like one of
basically.
these.
Yeah.
You're doing like this.
And
So
you,
you
you
can't
ain't
move.
dodging much
No, you
with
get
that.
hit one and you're knocked out, and
Yeah.
you're still alive. You're getting fucking peltod.
Yeah. I mean, like
I kind of want to. I kind of want to.
see someone stoned.
No, I kind of want to do another episode on conspiracy theories. Just pick like the top like 2 or 3 that
Sure.
in existence, because there's thousands of them out there about every fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then do like a whole new episode on those. Because like I said, episode 2 we did that on like ghosts and
I don't know if it was
Sasquatch. And,
episode 2, but whatever it was. Was it episode 2?
I think so.
It might have been. That was a lucky
like-
guess if it was.
Yeah. But
editor, tell me what episode it was.
But yeah, like I'd rather do something that's more public, I guess, than like the Sasquatch is yes or no. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
They found footprints. They found hair. That's fine. But there's all those videos and pictures that could be fake, aren't fake. Yes, they're fake. Definitely. No, they're not. Nobody fucking knows. But that's the end of the story. When you look at like more governmental stuff like 9/11,
Yeah.
the Trump assassination, Kennedy,
Oklahoma
9/11,
City,
like
yeah.
there's so much more information
Oh,
about
absolutely.
that you can go into.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to just
Oh, I'd love to. I'd
not
love
end
to,
on that right now, but just kind of pause the conspiracy theory conversation to be
Yeah.
able to create a whole separate entity on that.
Yeah, I'd love
to be
to
able
deep
to
dive
talk
into that.
about that more.
I'd love to deep dive into that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, would love that.
Yeah.
That'd get my wiener hard.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Cletus McFarland.
Right.
I want him on the pod one day.
Dude,
Sweet.
I was thinking about it today when I was listening to that 9/11 podcast. I want a 9/11 survivor on the podcast.
Be sweet.
Like, it doesn't have to be here. It could be Zoom or whatever. But just to talk about, like, and I know it's a super touchy subject for most of them, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But to be able to talk about the experience and, like, this is what happened. This is what I remember.
What's
this is
crazy-
what I did. This is how I survived.
It's crazy that you say that because I remember just seeing this not that long ago about a firefighter who's now, I don't know if he's retired, but he doesn't work in New York City anymore.
Mhm.
That he was in the building. He survived. He said he went one way, and two of his best buddies who were firefighters went down another steps and he'd never seen him again.
Yeah.
They never made it out.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking, dude, that's like insane. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what I would
absolutely.
do. That'd be like, if like, say like, I don't even know. Like if me, you, and Zach were somewhere and shit went south. And I was like, I'm going to go this way, you go that way. All right, I'll see you outside. And I
never
made
see
it
each
and
other.
y'all didn't. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that would fuck me up for life.
Yeah. And
Like,
I would.
Or if not life, like years.
And someone
Decades.
like that, like I don't expect it to be talked about publicly, but if someone had that experience and was willing to talk about
Right.
it to a degree up
Right.
until
And
you're
had, like, the
uncomfortable,
courage to
basically.
talk about it on the
Yeah,
internet.
have enough courage until you're uncomfortable, basically, or
Yeah.
you feel like, hey, like, okay, like I need to take a break or whatever. I'd love to have them on the podcast, absolutely,
Yeah.
because I was 3 years old when that happened. I was sleeping that day. I don't remember.
I was in
but-
preschool. I remember my mom told me she seen it on TV. She came and got me out of preschool because everybody thought like they were next, like they
Yeah.
were coming. Obviously, they're not coming to fucking Warren or
but no
Brookfield.
one knew at the time.
Exactly.
No one knew.
Exactly.
Um,
Everybody thought all the fucking planes in the sky were just
No.
going to start falling out.
right.
Another one that we're not going to talk about, we'll look up information, is the Pentagon. All I'm going to say is everything that was talked about, there's no video footage and there was no, you couldn't find fucking plane parts at the Pentagon. There's no way they fucking just, I work in an airport, I know this shit. This shit just doesn't evaporate.
Over 500 mile an hour though.
Yeah, there's that big plane. It's not just, you're going to find pieces of metal paneling. You're going to find the black box, which is meant to be indestructible, so you can plug it and go over the system.
Yeah, but they never found the black boxes for the Twin Towers.
Well, no shit, because it was in all thousands of pounds of rubble in two massive skyscrapers.
Oh my god, my dog's barking. Is the FBI here? Oh god.
Imagine.
Dude, I'd shit my fucking pants.
We're sitting here talking. Put your fucking hands up.
Yeah, oh god.
All right,
But yeah,
but that's what I would like to look into. It's just,
Yeah, we should do
just
that.
like, it doesn't make sense.
no.
You're talking me.
I mean,
You're talking a government facility like the Pentagon that has thousands or hundreds of cameras inside and outside of that building. Not one of them caught a plane.
right.
Or if they were recording at that time, they magically skipped
Yeah.
when the plane flew by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
Yeah, there's
They probably have better cameras that you have on your house.
probably
And your cameras catch everything. Well, not everything, but
90% of stuff.
that's what I'm saying.
I say that now, and it's not gonna catch something. Watch. No, I agree. I'd love to go into a deep dive of especially 9/11. Like I said, I'm just so fascinated by it, just because I was like, it falls on my birthday, so every day or every time my birthday falls, that comes up
Right.
regardless, because it's on the news and
Yeah.
everything. They do a yearly, not celebration, but yearly anniversary,
Like a
is-
remembrance.
Yeah, remembrance.
I remember in school, whenever that was, when we were in school, every time, like when the first plane hit, when the second plane hit, when the tower went
Yep.
down, when the Pentagon was hit, when it went down in Shanksville, they always had like a minute of silence and whatnot. Speaking of that, when we just flew home from Philly, we actually flew right over the Shanksville location. You could see like the big circle with the path. It's actually pretty cool looking at it from 20,000 feet. I wouldn't mind going there one day. That could be pretty cool.
I'm so fucking nervous to fly.
Why?
Because I was born on 9/11, bro.
You'll be fine.
Dude, I'm so fucking nervous to fly. I've flown one time, and it was fucking awful.
Do you want to know what's crazy, though? Is
that the plane might go down at any point in time?
You have a higher chance of getting struck by lightning or winning the lottery than you do in a plane crash.
I mean, that's probably what they thought during 9/11, and here they are fucking...
Well, you got to think back before 9/11, TSA wasn't like it is.
No, I know.
You just fucking walked on. You could smoke in planes. You could carry guns on planes.
That would have been such a good time smoking on planes. Oh.
Now you can't do nothing. Like, they limit how much liquid you have. They scan
right.
every... Like, we just flew with the baby.
No.
And we... So you can only carry so much liquid. You're not allowed to bring food or water from outside TSA into the terminal, other than if it is for a baby. So, first time Amanda ever flew by herself with Lainey, she had a bottle of water and the baby formula. That's fine. It's not limited to how much because it's food for an infant. They don't limit that. But do they test it? Absolutely. They opened the bottle of water. They poured a sample out. They tested it. They tested the powder. This time when we flew, they have pre-mades. It's liquid in a bottle. They're 8-ounce bottles. Again, ounces doesn't matter when it comes to baby food like that. Like, obviously, you can't roll through with a 55-gallon drum of fucking formula.
Right.
But, like, the little bottles, we put it in a bag. They send it through. Beep, beep, beep. It went off. They say, what's in here? I told them before. I said, just let you know there's baby food in there. They're pre-made bottles, 8-ounce. There should be 6 of them. They're packaged together right here, blah, blah, blah. Sent it through. Went off. He checked it. It's fine. But, like, TSA nowadays is so fucking insane.
Right.
Like, what you can't. Like, I don't think you can even go through with tweezers.
Probably not.
Or nail clippers. Because that can be considered a weapon. Like, I could shoot somebody.
But, you can fly with guns.
You can fly with guns in a checked bag.
Yeah.
And they have to be all separated.
Right.
You can't get a gun when it's in the bottom of the plane.
Right.
You can't have it in your checked bag.
I'm just too fucking paranoid.
And
it's so unfortunate.
You can't fly with... I don't think you can fly with ammo. You can fly with the gun. You can't fly with ammo. So, like, if you were to fly from here to Utah to go on a hunting trip, and you had a 22 gauge...
Even if it's separate?
Yes.
Really?
Because it could potentially explode because it's a live ammo. You know what I mean? Anything
yeah, but so could the fucking 10,000 gallons of fuel on the plane.
You need the fuel to fly.
It could explode.
You need the fuel to move the plane. You don't need the ammo to move the plane. So, like, if you were to
fly... My cell phone can explode. The battery could just go... Pfft.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so that doesn't seem like a... I guess.
They can't limit you from not flying with your cell phone.
I mean, it's the government. You know what I mean? Whatever they want.
I mean, technically, but they wouldn't. I don't think they would. But regardless, yeah, if you were flying with a shotgun and you were going to hunt somewhere, or an AR or a handgun, you'd have to buy your ammo out there and use every fucking last round you had out there because you can't bring anything back. But private, you can. That shit don't matter.
Right. I don't know, man. I'm paranoid. Like I said, after the flight out, when I flew, the flight out was...
fly? When was this?
2018.
Where'd you go?
Missouri. I went with my girlfriend at the time because her younger sister was graduating from basic. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, the flight down, like the takeoff doesn't matter to me. Flying doesn't really matter. Like, I don't like not being in control of like a moving object, like a vehicle or whatever. I hate that, but whatever. I got over that. Landing was fine.
It's just the concept of this thing might crash.
That, and when we were flying out to come home, we taxied the tarmac or whatever, and there was plane issues, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like, this ain't good. Like it took forever to taxi. We were just taxiing constantly, and I'm like, dude, like, there's something going on.
But it's crazy to think, like, I work around that shit, so I know. I'm not scared of it at all. And I'll tell you the god-awful truth. It might be I'm going to be honest with you. There was a flight one time that came in. It was a private flight. Obviously, that's all I deal with. But it was a private flight that came in, and they wouldn't take back off because they window shade, you know, like in a plane, how they have that plastic thing that slides, was broken. They would not fly because of that simple reason. So that plane problem might have just been...
They said it was some electrical problem or something, some engine problem. I don't know.
Again, there's sensors for sensors in engines. Yeah, so it might have been like...
But it paranoid me because I'm like, what the fuck? And there was something else that I'm not going to say on camera that happened.
Just tell me later.
Yeah, I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
Nah,
dude, I'll fly.
That I just noticed that, like, I was just like, man, this is unsettling. Like, I'm just not...
Dude, if I had the money, I'd get on a plane now and fly to, like, fucking London.
Oh, fuck that.
I would fly to Hawaii.
I'll stay on the ground.
Australia.
That's why I don't want to go skydiving, bro, because I don't like being in the air. We're meant to be on the ground. There's gravity. We're not floating around. We're fucking on the ground.
Dude, I want to go
Keep me here.
Dude, we can go skydiving right in
I'm
Garrettsville.
I'm not going
Garrettsville,
skydiving.
right there,
Bro,
right there.
Guess what?
Right
Guess
there.
what? Guess what? There's a weight limit to your height, bitch.
So
We're both overweight.
they
They won't skydive with us tandemly.
So you take your class and do it yourself.
You can. I'm not.
I'll go. What about okay? So let me ask
I'm
you a
not
question.
skydiving.
You're not skydiving.
No.
But, like, okay, let me fucking finish, prick. Like, if we went to Utah, would you ever do one of those big ass fucking swings where you like jump off the side of the cliff and you do the big?
No.
Oh my god, I would.
Nope.
Would you ever zip line?
Nope.
You wouldn't even zip line?
Nope. What if it breaks? I fall to my death.
Dude, the cables are this fucking
Don't
thick.
care. Could
They're
fall.
not gonna break.
Could break. I'm fat. Could break. What if it's worn? They don't know it. They don't see it. Magically. Paranoid, bro.
Then if you fall and break your leg, you sue for millions of dollars.
Or
you have a
I-
broken leg and now you're rich.
Or I fall and die.
Fuck it.
No, I like living. I like living. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing dumb shit.
One day.
I'll fly eventually. Because I want to go to California to see my friend out there. So
I'd like to go to Cali.
I'm gonna have to fly. I'm gonna have to fly out there.
Yeah, I would never drive that. I want to go to Montana.
I mean, I'd
would
rather
fly.
drive it realistically, but
It'd take you fucking 3 days to get out there.
I know, but that's okay.
That's a waste of time. You could be there in 4 hours.
Yeah, but flying, bro.
You're okay, bro.
Going down.
Take a melatonin and sleep.
You'd have to take like a Xanax.
Take that too.
I don't own Xanax for one, and two, I'm not a drug abuser.
I didn't say you were an abuser. Take some fucking.
I don't take drugs.
Take some melatonins and.
No, dude. Honestly, I wouldn't care to fly if I was able to get tanked to go on the plane.
Can't.
Why? Why can't I sit at the airport bar, get fucking sloshed, and get on the plane and just be by myself?
Because if you got on the plane and you decided to be an asshole, they could kick you off the
But
plane.
there's no way they would know I was going to be an asshole until I'm up in the air.
No, like if you're sitting there and you're sitting and they're boarding and you're just fuck you.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
And just started being an asshole before you even took off.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'd wait till we're in the air for one.
And then they call into the fucking tower and then they land and they stop on the fucking tarmac and they got a fucking cops board the plane and
Oh
arrest
yeah,
your
but
ass
the thing is, I wouldn't do that. I would, because if I'm tanked, send the plane down. I don't give a fuck because I'm drunk. I don't care. I don't care. That's the way. If I'm tanked and the plane's going down, fuck. I'm fucking. We're partying the next fucking 5 seconds down.
We're gonna go somewhere one day. We'll take a little weekend trip somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, you can get a flight to Orlando for like $80.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Orlando. It's too hot. They got bugs. Ugh,
There's bugs every fucking
Yeah, but they
where.
got bugs. Bugs.
Big bugs. Big burly bugs.
They do got bugs, bro.
Big burly beefy bugs.
They got bugs. It's humid. My balls will be sweating.
California's even fucking hotter and they got earthquakes.
That's dry heat, bro.
You'll fall in a crack.
Dry heat, bro.
What if a big old earthquake and a building falls on you?
Well, sue the company.
Texas, what company?
Whatever. Who owns the building?
Texas got rattly snakes and fucking hogs.
Fuck Texas.
Would you ever go hog hunting?
No. I don't
They
care.
fly around in fucking helicopters in the
Yeah.
middle of the night with thermal guns.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
That looks sweet. I
that
would
don't
do that
matter
in
to
a
me.
heartbeat.
That don't matter to me. I don't care. Oh well. All right.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done too.
Check out the sponsors down below. Beard Seasonings,
Yeah.
RBrand Beard products, 50% off using the respective codes. They will be linked down below.
50%?
15%.
Oh, I was gonna say, what the hell?
No.
15% off.
15%
15.
OFF.
Right. 15% off.
15.
right. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done talking. I'm going to have a couple slices of za.
Yeah, I am too. All right.
We're back for now.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see you fucks later.
We're back.
See you later, fuck sticks.
Bye.
What's up, brother?